brother both played Major League Baseball. Richie Allen, the Allen brothers.
Yeah, the Allen brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we kicked your ass twice a year.
Richie had the Allen brothers there. You had Hannon's son that would have been. He could have went. Did you know he could have been a? He was drafted by the NBA.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, he was. You know why he didn't go? Because it didn't pay much, and he wanted to be a doctor.
Did
He
he
went
really?
on to he went on to med school.
Wow. Wow. Well, there's something to be said for that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they had some talent. It wasn't a big school, but they had talent and they had coaching.
They had a great coach. They had enough talent, and you get that together, you're gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, there was a one quick there was a famous story. There was one of the coaches, I think it was New Wilmington at the time, said all you guys do is run and gun. He says you can't play defense because they were averaging 100 points a game in high school. You think
Wow.
that's what kind of a machine they were. So Hannon says, "Okay, I'll show you defense." So he beat New Wilmington 90-32 one game. Remember, well, probably when your brother played. Remember a couple of those killer um, Newcastle teams that won the three WPILs in a row.
Hmm.
At that, what year was that? Was your brother playing then?
He was way before them.
He was before that. Well, I
Oh yeah,
was
my brother's what 46, 46.
okay when Sarandria first come in.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember my dad telling me. He says when he watched those Newcastle teams, he says they reminded him of the old Wampum teams. He says they could play ball, they could play full court pressure defense the entire game and still score a lot of points. He said it reminded him a lot of Hannon's coaching back then.
Who did uh who did Connie Palumbo coach?
Um,
Because I see him every weekend.
oh, you know what? I know he graduated with my mother. I'm pretty sure from Shenango. But I'm trying to remember. Did he coach Newcastle way back too? Before Don Ross? I can't remember.
Well, Donnie Ross was the baseball coach for a while too.
Yeah, Donnie Ross was baseball and basketball.
Yeah.
Um,
Because he was cemented in as the basketball coach whenever I was there.
yeah, okay. Well,
It was amazing how many how much talent we had there that just wouldn't play for him. That's why CYO in Lawrence County was so big.
you know what? CYO was big when I was in high school.
Well, that was the
There
big reason why.
it was because we laughed. There was a few CYO teams that would have beat some of the high school teams back then
Oh, we would have beat at least half the high school teams around here.
because they had Christ, we had guys on. We're a little old Madonna. We had guys on our team that just didn't want to play high school because of the coach,
Right.
and they are talented. And we had like a couple from Union and one from Newcastle that should have been playing at Nika and didn't.
Right. Right. Simply because they didn't want to play for Don. Look, Ross had his favorites, right?
Yeah,
And if you weren't in the clique, you weren't playing. I don't give a shit how good you were.
you know, I remember St. Vitus. My God, they had half the championship football team playing for the basketball team when I was there. 74, 73, 74.
Yeah. But
Those guys were horses.
we had 84, 85, 86, right?
Yeah.
And we won the diocese 3 years in a row. Down in St. Vitus, we kicked the shit out of everybody in Lawrence County, kicked the shit out of everybody in Beaver County, And anybody from Allegheny who even tried to play against us, they didn't have a chance. I'll tell you a good story before we get busy. Danny Leah.
Okay.
Actually lived caddy corner from St. Vitus School. Okay, toward St. Francis Hospital on the back end. Okay, and we're playing St. Lawrence, and we're doing warm-ups, and one of our balls went to the other side of the court, right? So Danny goes over to like at half court to, like, hey, can you guys, give the ball back? And Jeff Romano doesn't just throw him the ball, throws it at him. And we're going, oh, here we go, because then he snapped on a dime, right? So we're in the locker room, we're getting ready. Rick, our coach Rick, going through the last minute preps, and you can just see Danny. He's just sitting there. And David Ferry, who owns New Age Printing, New Age Graphics, right? David looks at me, and I grew up with David. David looks at me and goes, Patsy, what I get the feeling something bad's going to happen. And I leaned over. I said, because something bad's going to happen, right? We go out on the court, rough jump ball. Danny goes right at him. Boom! He blocks him. He gets thrown out of the game. It was 5 seconds into the game.
5 seconds in.
5 seconds in. As soon as I was like, this is a slap shot.
Oh my God.
It was a great story. When we got cleared out, I looked at David. I said, I told you something bad was going to happen.
Oh, man.
Well, on the upside, Senate Democrats revealed a $3.5 trillion plan to invest in health care, climate change, and a little bit more. Just a bunch of other things. It would expand Medicare, fulfill other Democratic priorities intended to deliver on Biden's economic proposal. Schumer said, if we pass this, it'll be the most profound change to help American families in generations. What do you think the odds of this thing getting passed are?
It depends on Manchin and Sinema, probably. Of course, on that, I think on that one, they could bypass the filibuster, if I'm not mistaken, because there are a lot of another like budget-related vote this year.
Would it be reconciliation?
Yeah, you'd have a reconciliation so they could get the 50 plus Kamala.
Yeah. According to Manchin and John Tester from Montana, both said Tuesday that they'll need time to sort through the plan compiled by the Budget Committee. Manchin said, we need this. We need to pay for it. I don't think we need more debt. How about this guy?
Yeah. Okay. Don't
So
need more.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. What you want to go with what you were thinking?
You know what? It's a joke. Nobody's concerned about the debt when they cut taxes for corporations and rich people. You know, Bezos and Branson, they just shit away more money on joyriding than you or me would ever, in comparison. It would be like us, taking a $20 bill and, maybe throwing it on a horse on Kentucky Derby Day.
Yeah.
Because they can skirt taxes legally.
They spent what's his name? Virgin, the guy that just went into subspace.
Yeah, Richard Branson.
Richard Branson. He spent more money on that than a lot of states have.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. and he pays
Yeah,
zero.
I've been reading a little bit on what some of these loopholes are, and the thing is the what some of the loopholes are, we can't take advantage of it as normal people, and not that I wouldn't say we're poor, but we still can't take advantage of it,
Nope.
and they can, and then they can write it off against taxes, and it's like their effective rate is half of ours.
Yeah. Yep.
What was it in 2020? 50 of the top 500 corporations didn't pay anything. I paid more tax than 50 top 500 corporations.
Yes, you did.
But oh, look at the deficit. Yeah, who created it? If I'm not mistaken, I believe the conservatives own about 80% of that deficit. Back to Reagan,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll bet I'm not far off.
I bet you're not. No, no. Was Clinton before or after Reagan? Clinton was after Reagan, right?
Yeah,
Because Clinton had a surplus. It was
Clinton
Bush.
ran a surplus.
It was Bush. Because
Well,
back to
Reagan started it. H.W. He raised taxes to try and bring it back some because he was the old conservative,
hmm
and then W blew it up.
well, yeah, he had to go, the Middle East and fuck around. And it's funny how whenever his father went to the Middle East, he really didn't hurt. He didn't cost us a whole lot. Of course, we were only there for a hot minute, and we almost did a U-turn. Right, we went there, bombed the shit out of everybody, and just came right back.
Yeah, that was pretty much what happened too.
It was pretty quick. uh, I'm concerned that the Democrats are going to kneecap themselves yet again with this.
Oh, they stand a good chance. I was just thinking, why is there, when you think about their shitty messaging, this one, critical race theory. Why is it called critical race theory instead of the truth about American history?
Why is it called defund the police?
Yeah, same thing. Oh, defund the police. Let's reorganize the police. What's that sound like? Sounds a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah, re-equip the police.
Re-equip the police.
Yeah, or better equip them, or something like that.
Better equip the police. I mean, how hard is that? Better equip the police. They need a little more training, and we want them to have other personnel that's going to help them to protect everybody's lives.
The other part I never understood, Lou. 8 months to be a lawyer, or I'm sorry, 8 years to be a lawyer, almost a decade, right? To create law, to argue law, to interpret law, 8 years, plus a bar exam. To enforce the law, 6 months. And you don't even get you get you get to go get a certification.
What do you learn in 6 months?
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Take the hardest thing you ever had in your life, which you had to, and well, how much of that could you have possibly learned in 6 months? Right? What did you learn in 6 months whenever you got your degree? Not a damn thing.
So could you be an engineer in 6 months?
No. And it's a whole hell of a lot easier now.
Could you be a programmer in 6 months? Can't be a teacher in 6 months.
Nope.
How about a nurse? And then you got all those professions. You have to have continuing education,
and you have to be licensed.
and you got to be licensed.
You're a hairdresser. You got to be licensed, Lou. And I promise you, that takes longer than 6 months.
Yeah.
To do somebody's hair. Cop, 6 months. You can go get certified.
Here's your gun.
Go at it. We're not doing anybody any favors whenever we do this. All right? And we sure as hell aren't doing those guys any favors. Nobody benefits from it. Literally nobody.
No, the cop or the people on the street.
Nobody does. Nobody benefits from it. Yet, this is what we decided we're going to do. Oh, and by the way, if your hairdresser gets a DUI, she could lose her license. So there's that too. Right? Cop goes and beats the shit out of his wife. Everybody just turns and looks the other way. It's unbelievable, Lou. It's absolutely unbelievable. Vice President Harris suggested that she has discussed filibuster changes with senators. This is from NPR. With a major voting bill stalled, the vice president told NPR that she won't negotiate changes to the Senate rules publicly, but I am certainly having conversations with folks, is the quote. I believe that all of the issues that the United States Congress can take up, the right to vote is the right that unlocks all other rights, she said. And for that reason, it should be one of its highest priorities. So she's kind of putting these things on the back burner a little bit. Pressed on whether she is advocating that senators support a carve-out to the filibuster for voting rights proposed by James Clyburn, Harris said, I don't mean this in any offense, but I'm not going to negotiate this way. But I'm certainly having conversations with them. So, it seems to me that there's a lot going on under the hood that people aren't ready to talk about yet. But there's definitely a few things going on.
Yeah, I know there is a bunch of stuff, and you sit there and you watch the news, and knowing what we've seen with our own eyes the last 6 months on January 6th, you wonder if some of the news is blowing it out of proportion. What could happen, or they're not emphasizing it enough.
Nope. I'm going to go back to that same name that we had in the last time, though. It's still going to come down to Manchin again. And Sinema. So this guy's name just keeps popping up every fucking time you want to get something done.
And he went to Texas to go to a GOP-sponsored fundraiser.
You're kidding.
Did you hear that today? And I wasn't sure it was true, but I've seen it in a couple spots. That somebody found out about it, and I'm waiting to hear if it actually is true, which if it is, that's, I'm trying, because sometimes that stuff just starts flowing on social media too.
Well, let's see. He seems to be trending today. He's headed to Texas today for a $1,500 a head fundraiser with major Republican donors, one day after meeting with Texas Democrats, and they actually have the invite letter up here. Let me get this up real quick.
Okay, the Texas Tribune actually has it on their website.
Right, so here it is. Okay. Dear friends, we invite you to join us for a special evening supporting our friend, U.S. Senator Joe Manchin. Senator Manchin is the chair of the U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources. He should be stripped of that as of right now. More importantly, he's a longtime friend since his days of governor of West Virginia. Yada, 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 yada. Let's see some of these names on here. I don't know if you can read them. Jim Teague, Bill White, Alan Armstrong, Rich Kinder, Jeff Hildebrand, Joseph Broder, I don't know how many Democrats are on that. You know?
I don't know if there's any on that.
I'm looking at the Texas Tribune right now. Among the hosts are oil billionaires like Jeff Hildebrand, who co-founded the energy company Hillcorp.
That's why that name sounded familiar.
There you go. Look at this. Co-founder of Kinder Morgan, an energy infrastructure company. Dude, this is dirty as shit. He should be stripped of his committees right now. Honest to God, he should be stripped of them right now. There's no excuse for this.
As Fox News corporate PAC donates to Joe Manchin's campaign.
Look at this. Look at this. We're basically just getting some people together to show our support, said Darren Blanton, a Republican donor who planned to attend the event. He pushed back on the notion that this is a wholly Republican event, saying it's just people that respect and support him. Joe fucking Manchin. They're doing this in Texas, and it's just people that respect and support him. Are you kidding me? Luke, he's got to go. He's got to go. This is why I say, and this is why I've been saying how weak Schumer is. Right? Can you imagine?
Well, yeah,
can you imagine any Republican senator doing this shit with the turtle in charge?
he would have had the committee assignments taken before he got off the plane on the other end.
Yep. As he was walking out of the Senate chambers, he'd have been stripped. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy's getting away with this shit. And again, the Democrats just let him do it. They just let him do it. You don't have a 50-50 Senate. You only do on paper. You don't do in practice. What the hell good is it on paper? It just makes you look weak. It just makes you look weak. You saw the new book coming out on Trump, right?
Yeah.
I forgot what the hell the name of it is. But according to CNN, Trump said whoever, quote, leaked information about his time in the White House bunker last year should be executed. Then President Trump told a number of his advisors in 2020 that whoever leaked that information had committed treason and should be executed for sharing details about the episode with members of the press. Hey, tell me something, Lou, before we get into this. Whenever you had that little thing going on over there, he was escorted down to the bunker. Yeah, we had an insurrection. And he didn't go anywhere. He
never left the TV room, did he?
Nope. How the hell, whenever you're having a skirmish, he's being sent down to a bunker? Yeah, but there's an insurrection. He's sitting in the living room watching TV. How does that happen? It only happens one way. Whenever you're the guy behind the insurrection.
Yeah. I believe it's in that same book. Did you happen to catch the excerpt when they got into the Capitol? Did you know Mike Pence refused to go with the Secret Service and instead stayed with the Capitol Police?
Yeah, that's what I think I saw that on CNN too. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he didn't trust them?
You know what? Up until this very moment, I was thinking, you know what, he's just going to stand with everybody, and he's going to shoulder all the responsibility or whatever that goes with it. But not when you put it that way. I'm starting to change my mind. Because apparently there was one hell of a shouting match before between him and Pence before this whole thing took place.
Yeah, apparently there was. I guess it was first thing in the morning too.
Yeah.
That Pence couldn't make him understand it. I'm only ceremonial. There's nothing I could do.
Yeah, even if he did whatever Trump wanted him to do, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, wouldn't have.
The state's already certified everything. It's all done. You're just walking through the motions. According to Bolton, Trump's this I believe was this whenever he was on this morning on CNN. He said something like Trump's attention span for anything historic is about 10 seconds or less than 10 seconds. So there's that. And
Did you see that on the day? I think it was the day of the insurrection. With I think Milley was in the room and Esper, and that was the last time he talked to him at all since before even the end of his term.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Milley kind of hinted that we were closer to a war with Iran than anybody realized about the same time because he was pissed.
Wow. This guy. You believe this guy? And yet, all these idiots voted for him. And almost all those same idiots voted for him again.
And they'll vote for him a third time.
Yep. Yeah, they will. And they won't even. They won't even. Never mind. I don't even want to start. One day before AG Barr left office, according to the Times, the Justice Department attempted to seize Washington Post reporters' email data one day before former AG Barr left office. Newly unsealed court files shed more light on a contentious leak investigation. The Justice Department sought the email records of 3 Washington Post reporters. Dude, if you're a Washington Post reporter, you hope to God your name was one of those 3, right? On the day before William Barr stepped down as Attorney General in a last-ditch effort to identify who had told the newspaper about conversations between Trump campaign officials and the Russian ambassador. The December 22nd request, one of Barr's last acts in office, was part of a major escalation by Trump administration during its final weeks in power of a years-long campaign to crack down on leaks of classified information to the news media. The Trump Justice Department also sought New York Times reporters' records in that period. I mean, first of all, we have this idealistic thing that's frightening as hell that they actually tried to do it. I have no doubt that the Justice Department wants to do it, and I don't think that Trump's is the only Justice Department that ever wanted to do it. But they actually attempted it. They actually tried to do it, and I would be real curious to find out how the hell they didn't. But what are your thoughts?
You know what? I don't even know what to think on some of that anymore. It's just I keep reading more and more stuff, and you wonder why wasn't it exposed earlier?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Well, there you go. That's why.
Did I do that?
Yeah. Unsealing of the docket file shed new light on what happened, including listing the day prosecutors applied for the email records order and identifying 3 post articles that were subject of a leak investigation. Those articles, identified only by their dates of publication, apparently included one in May 2017 that reported on President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, had discussed with Russia, Sergei Kislyak, the possibility of using Russian diplomatic facilities as a communication back channel during the transition. There was also a June 2017 article about the Obama administration's struggle to deal with Russian election interference, and a July 17 article reporting that Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General at the time, had discussed campaign issues again with Kislyak. When Sessions was a senator. All 3 of these articles were written by, they give the 3 names of the reporters. I really don't want to. The Justice Department has disclosed it did obtain their phone logs, which do not require a court order, but it never succeeded in getting the email logs. Thank God they don't know what to look for. Thank God they never know. Because you can have all the logs you want. So what? Well, I could have a log of every phone call you make, right? First of all, the log for your phone does not necessarily mean I'm going to get who you called, only that you made a call, right? There has to be a connection, and then it has to log the connection. Some will and some won't. It depends on a whole lot of things. As far as an email log is concerned, I don't think that if you're a reporter and you're getting some leaks or whatever it is, you're going to tell them to send it to lou@gmail.com. You know? I'm just saying, they might not be that bright, but this is what you do for a living. You'd be that bright.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, and how many emails go out that could go to spam folders?
Right. Right. So you're giving dummy, email address. You're giving a Proton mail address or some shit like that, and saying send it here. And the other thing I wonder if they just didn't use old-fashioned mail service, just the post office.
Boy, that's kind of a secure server, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with just doing that? And you don't even have to print it out. That's the part that gets me, right? Just throw that shit on the thumb drive and mail it. So what if it takes an extra day? Does it really matter?
Not really.
No. If there's some shithead did something on Monday and it doesn't make it into the paper until Wednesday, what difference does it make? It already happened. Even if it gets in the paper Tuesday, it still already happened. It's past tense. Who cares?
You're in D.C. You probably have couriers on a bicycle.
Yeah, it's true. So, does it really matter? I mean, thank God these guys don't have a clue, because they might have been able to find out all that stuff. They might have. The problem was they were trying to go backwards, right? They were going from the end. It was like going upriver, right? It's like you found the mouth of the river. Now you want to see where it started. And that's what they were trying to do. So they've pretty much figured out who the reporters were. But they were trying to backtrack to find out where they were getting their information. And well, that's just not going to work. That's not going to work. You got to start in house and work your way out. It's the umbrella theory, right? Thank God they're just ill-equipped to do their job.
Incompetent.
Incompetent. Couple more stories, and then we'll get out of here, Lou. Chuck Schumer says he will propose federal decriminalization of marijuana. This, according to the New York Times. Schumer offered a draft to remove marijuana from the list of controlled substances and begin regulating and taxing it. Holy shit, is he about 40 years too late, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. And don't worry, Grassley's still against it.
Well, yeah. They're still going to make the argument that it's a gateway drug. So it's not just an idea whose time has come. It's long overdue, said Schumer. We have all seen the agony of a young person arrested with a small amount of marijuana in his or her pocket, and because of the historical overcriminalization of marijuana, they have a very severe criminal record that they have to live with the rest of their lives. Good point. But, you know, Lou, we tax cigarettes, we tax alcohol. Both of those things far more destructive than marijuana. And yet this thing's still illegal. Do you think this has a chance of passing?
You know what? It's been passing in a lot of states. Not at 50-50. But I actually think there's some Republicans that would be for it.
Yeah, I do too, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you the greatest argument they can make. All of these states that legalized it, they're all making money. It's a hell of a source of revenue. And that's how you get the Republicans on board. Well, you going to let some asshole who has, 4 plants in his backyard rip us off of money that we could be collecting? And that's how you sell them.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's been hit out here recently for growing it in the cornfield.
Yeah, I never understood. Like, I got all these around me, right? And some of the folks that you and I both know would not be shocked if they had a bunch growing somewhere.
Well, when was it? It's been about 10, 15 years. There was over $1 million worth in one of them fields down on Brewster Road, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good place to do it. That's a good place to do it, right? Yeah, and the soil's good. You got the river right there.
I never went in to look, but there was rumor that it was across the street from me about 15 years ago.
Across the street from me?
From me.
Oh, from you?
Back in somewhere.
I was going to say across the street from me. Yeah, probably was. Across from you before they cleared all that shit out.
Yeah. Somebody planted it in there when the farmer didn't know.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is a great area for it. I mean, you'd have to work the soil because after 2 inches you hit clay, but you got all the room in the world and it's laid back, and the only way you're going to get caught is if you piss off somebody. Right? They start making phone calls. You make enough to give all your neighbors some, and you'll be fine. Just share it, right? Like down, it's like the cookie table, right? At a wedding.
Yeah, just get a couple baggies when you need it, and don't say anything.
Yeah. Just say, hey, look, I got a baggie full in the garage. Just go get it whenever you want. I don't know. I think it got a chance. I agree. I think it's way overdue. To be honest.
I know Wolf and Fetterman are pushing for it, and I actually think they had some Republican support.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, I think federally, I think it has a shot at pass. I'm not saying that it has a gray shot or it's a foot in, or I'm sorry, a shoe in, but I think they got a shot. Yeah, it might be a puncher's chance, but they still got a chance. One more thing to kill this, Lou, and then we'll call it a week. According to CNN, and this is just an hour ago, boy, is this going to come as a shock to nobody, right? Biden says platforms like Facebook are, quote, killing people with COVID misinformation. Biden said today on social media that social media platforms like Facebook, that they're killing people with misinformation surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. They're killing people. I mean, they're really, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated, and they're killing people.
Yeah, did you see Did you see what the Fox News was doing about that?
No.
White House spying on Facebook or something.
Of course.
Old Peter Ducey said something to Jen Psaki, and she stuck it up his ass again today.
You would think she'd pull him off to the side and say, look, this is getting old. I mean, do you want me to keep embarrassing you every day?
Yeah, pretty much just stuck it right up there again.
I don't know what that guy's making, but he ain't making enough. You know, either that or he just literally is the only male person walking God's earth that has no pride at all. It's one or the other.
You know what? I can't imagine Fox forcing him to keep asking questions like that.
No.
I really can't. I mean, is he just thinks he's smarter than her?
You know what? Every time I was seeing clips of their back and forth, I never got that impression from him, right? I always got that impression from him that he is as black and white as possible, pushing an agenda, and he doesn't give a shit what the backlash is. He doesn't care what the answer is. He just wants that question to be out there and heard.
That's probably before he goes in. They probably tell him, ask this today. I don't know what he makes a year. What's your dignity worth? I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, dignity is on your perception, right? If they're just like, here, ask him this, and he goes, okay, and he goes and asks him.
Guess I better grease it up again today.
I'm gonna get it again today. He'll tell you what, he's gonna be in trouble because she's only putting in a year, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they get somebody that has a little bit more or a little less tact. This guy's not gonna like his job anymore.
Yeah, because she kind of puts it down as you wonder something. I'm gonna have to watch her closely. Is like, you know, Peter, you shouldn't ask that. You know, you shouldn't, but why did you?
It's like she pats him on the hand and goes, there. You know? Oh dear, you poor thing.
I could see her before it starts. Peter, what dumb thing did they tell you to ask me today?
What stupid shit's gonna come out of your mouth today?
What's Rupert pushing this week?
Or better yet, do they just not like you there?
Peter, do they hate you?
Do they hate you this much? They have to hate you. What'd you do? What did you do there that they hate you this much? You know what? That's a good place to start.
Oh, God.
Everybody, next week we start a new schedule. We'll be on Fridays, 5 o'clock to whenever we get done. We're shooting for 2 hours. It's 5 o'clock till whenever we get done. So nothing until Friday, once a week from now on. The Friday roundup. That's
You know
what
what? I don't. I hope I have reception. I'll be driving back from east to Harrisburg next Friday.
well, that's right.
So,
It'll just be a really short show. That's all.
because I know I'll be driving, I'll be on the turnpike. So,
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to try to round a few people up for.
where's Frank been?
He's in Italy.
Oh, he's in Italy.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. You didn't see the pictures he's putting up on Instagram?
I don't know if I follow him on Instagram.
Oh yeah, you should see the pictures he's putting up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I want to.
did he take his kids with him, or?
Yeah, the whole family went.
Oh, did they? It's got to be fun then.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure he's
So
having.
was he over there for the game then?
Yeah. Yeah. You should have seen the text I was getting.
Oh well. He had a blast then.
Oh yeah, he had a good time. Hopefully he's starting. Dude, I'm busy. I'm busy right here.
Oh well. All right then.
All right, so we will be back next Friday, 5:00, new start time, 5:00 Friday. Okay. Until then, for Lou and Master Grant and Frank and everybody else that we're gonna have on, we'll see you next week. Goodbye, good luck, and God bless. We'll see everybody next week. Bye bye.